Hey everyone, I'm Game Changer Coach Rob Riccobono, and today we're going to talk about breakfast. Specifically, we're going to answer the question, is breakfast the most important meal of the day? Now, this is probably one of the most common nutrition tropes that you will hear thrown about, that breakfast is very important, that you should eat within a certain amount of time after waking up, because it's going to help speed up your metabolism, and if you don't, you're not going to burn as many calories, yada, yada, yada. And as you can probably tell from the tone of my voice, this is not something that's true, not something that's necessary, and breakfast being the most important meal of the day really is just another fitness myth. Will it speed up your metabolism eating breakfast? No, the answer is that it will not. Something very similar to what I talked about in my previous video where we addressed meal frequency and how many times you eat per day if that were to affect the rate of your metabolism and how many calories you're burning throughout the day. How many times you eat per day will not affect your metabolism, nor will the timing in which you eat. So whether you're eating 30 seconds after waking up, 30 minutes after waking up, or 3 hours, it truly is not going to matter. Breakfast will not give a boost to your metabolism, I promise you that. So understand that. Now, when we look at the data, there really is a correlation between having breakfast regularly and having better control over your body weight. So people who generally skip breakfast seem to have a harder time reaching their weight goal and maintaining it there. But the thing that we have to remember is that correlation does not equal causation, meaning just because people who seem to eat breakfast often are in better shape, that doesn't mean that they are in better shape because they're eating breakfast so frequently. So if we dive into this a little bit, what I think is the benefit of having breakfast is that it will contribute to your satiety. So if you're having breakfast, if you're having protein specifically within your breakfast, it will probably help you stay fuller throughout the day. So just think about it. You might be a person who has a very busy day. You wake up, no time to eat breakfast. You're either rushing to the office or you're rushing to get the kids out of school or you're rushing to school. Then when you have lunch, it's nothing too big. You just kind of rush because you're very busy. Then by the end of the day, when you finally have a chance to sit down and eat, you're having dinner, you're absolutely starving, you're famished, so you're just reaching for whatever you can eat, trying to eat everything in sight because you're very hungry. Now, one could deduce that a big reason why you're so hungry is because you didn't have as much food earlier in the day. So maybe, just maybe, having breakfast can contribute to being a little more satisfied and full throughout the day. So if you have breakfast regularly, maybe you won't be so hungry later in the day. So I do encourage that you eat breakfast if you have the time, because it probably will benefit you indirectly at least. But if it really does not fit in your schedule, or most specifically, if you are not hungry when you wake up, then there's no reason to force feed yourself. Because honestly, I promise you the most important thing for your health, for your body weight, for your body composition really is going to be the total food intake that you have by the end of the day. So your total calorie intake, your total nutrient intake. How you choose to split that up, again, really is up to you. So that is just a myth. Is breakfast the most important meal of the day? It is not, but having it can definitely be helpful. Now in these videos, I'm going to keep hitting you guys over the head with it, that the most important thing is your total food intake by the end of the day. Because it's very important to understand that, as I mentioned before, if you buy into these myths and think that you have to eat breakfast, you have to eat a certain number of meals per day, you have to eat specific foods to reach your goals, if you have all that misinformation, it's going to make your fitness journey, your lifestyle a lot harder. And why should we make something harder than it has to be? The more resistance that you have, the more challenges you have to overcome, the less likelihood that you're going to have of success. So having this information, understanding that these are myths, really are going to be helpful. And if you understand that, you're going to be much further ahead of the game than other people. So is breakfast the most important meal of the day? No, it isn't. It doesn't have any special benefits, but it can indirectly help you stay full. So if you have time, eat a protein-rich breakfast. If not, then you're going to have more of your food at the end of the day. I'm Game Changer Coach Rob Riccobono, and we'll talk to you next time.